Good afternoon. I'm going to talk about money management techniques and leverage. So I think I had another video previously about DCA trading, dollar cost averaging, where you add to losers until eventually, maybe they turn around and you get your money back or you win. Um, it's a terrible, terrible long-term strategy. It works until it doesn't, and then you blow up your account. Um, I've been sort of unintentionally doing something similar here where I'm not dollar cost averaging, but I have been. I notice that I will take a trade, then if I'm wrong, I'll double reverse, and then sometimes I'll even triple reverse or something like that. And eventually, what's happening is I'm making money every day, but it's incredibly dangerous, and I can tell that I'm going to blow the account up here pretty soon if I don't stop it and find a different way to take these trades. So um, I've also been having a really difficult time tracking the market and staying in sync with it. It's very hard to tell what's happening at any given point because of the way it's behaving lately. Like this, for example, was some news this morning popped up, and then any sane person would assume that we're going to start some kind of an upward channel, and of course we don't. And it goes down, but then instead of trending and reversing and going and just dropping down, which is what I assumed, oh, it's going to pop up again, then it's going to pop down. So we got this sort of infinite pullback type scenario with a hyperbolic exhaustion down here, and then a spike up, which of course was the end of day, typical end of day stuff. Um, Annoying. So I did make money, but it was annoying, and I did some stuff that I'm not proud of to do it, and I think it's not going to work out in the long run. So uh, doing a little bit of thinking about money management techniques and leverage techniques. DCA is one of them. Martingale is another. Which is kind of what I was doing, where you take a trade, then if you lose in your next trade, you go heavier, that sort of thing. Again, it's a bad idea because you can be wrong too many times in a row. Um, but I do think that there's something to some of these strategies, and I think what I'm going to try is I'm going to try the exact opposite of DCA, which is essentially pyramiding. But I'm not going to do it in a super defined way. Basically, what I'm going to start doing here is, because I'm having such a hard time tracking the market lately, and in general I would expect that to be the case because I'm a beginner as well. What I'm going to do is start taking trades at the smallest level possible, right? So this is the micros, and I can set it down here at the bottom. I can set it to just give me one, right? I'm not going to do it now. I don't want to throw commission away, but so essentially, if I have a trade idea, like let's say I'm looking at this and I think this is a flag and that we're going to get an extension up to here, or at least up to this top, which actually could happen. Um, I might take that trade, and then there's going to be a point where, well, hey, obviously I'm taking this trade. It's really, really tiny. I'm just taking a flyer on it. I'm just taking putting some skin in the game, so to speak. And then as I watch the trade, if it looks like it's working and it's going to work and it's turning into a stronger move, then I add to it. If the move continues on and it looks like it's strengthening and it's a solid move and it's going to go further than I think, I add to it. So that's kind of my idea here. Is instead of adding after having a losing trade or adding to a losing trade, I'm going to only add to winning trades, and I'm only going to start by making trades that are very small and watching to see what they do. And I can't help but think that this is going to make a big difference in the way that the outcomes run. If you think about it, you can make any number of trades, and in the long run, the biggest thing that is going to help you is if your losses are small and your wins are big. And that's just the one way I can think of kind of guaranteeing this, given that you never really know. You never really know if the market's going to go to your stop loss or your take profit. If you have a fixed stop loss and take profit and using fixed ratios, that's great. But that's not me. And it's oftentimes not the market. The market has a tendency to go where it wants to go. It isn't going to necessarily go to your profit targets, or follow some sort of fixed risk reward strategy. And you could go 1-to-1, but then you're stuck again having to be right more often than not, and that sometimes, some days like today, it can be difficult. The market really was choppy the whole way down here, and it really looked like it was going to reverse the whole time until it finally did at the bottom. So, a bunch of times I made little longs in here and then kept getting out, and little longs and getting out, and it just wasn't working out. But so I think that's what I'm going to do, is start trading with like a tester amount, really small amount. And then if it starts to look like the trade's actually working and it's improving and it gets stronger, then I add to it. So an example of that might be here. If I want to go long here,
order filled,
and wait, well, okay, this could just be a small range, right? So it might go up to here and stop, but if it goes above this level and it prints a nice strong bar up in here, I might add another micro onto it at this point. Same thing, if it wants to go above this bar, I might add another micro, because what we could be getting is an extension of this. Now, this probably isn't going to happen. Biggest reason being this is after hours, so it's likely that this isn't going to move, and I'm just going to drop this and lose $2, which is kind of dumb. But I might just go ahead and hold on to this and see. And you can notice my default stop is way down here. I'll go ahead and move that up. But the idea is that I'm placing a trade idea that has minimal initial risk and size, and I'm going to let the market tell me whether I'm right or not. And the more right I am, the more I will add to that position. And the idea is that the market has a tendency to trend, it has a tendency to go further than you ever think it will when it starts to actually go. But then when it's not in a mood to go, and it's in a mood to just chop around, you don't want to be in with size, and you don't want to do anything but either be flat or be in one direction or the other and just wait. So that is, I think, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to see how that plays out over the next couple of days, couple of weeks. I think it'll be a lot safer than just levering up, trying to get back to break even, which is something I've been doing without really meaning to. It's like a revenge trading. It's a bad habit. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how it works out, and we'll take it from there. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.